Did you know that in the world's most educated country, over 60% of adults hold a university degree? That's double the global average. Yes, you heard that right. While some of us were busy binge-watching shows or scrolling through social media, these overachievers were apparently hitting the books. And today, we're counting down the nations that are basically winning the Global Brain Olympics. So what makes a country educated anyway? Well, we're not just pulling these rankings out of thin air. Our list is based on hard data, looking at things like the percentage of adults with university degrees, national education index scores, literacy rates, and how much cash these governments are throwing at their education systems. We've cross-referenced sources from the OECD, UNESCO, and other fancy acronyms to bring you the definitive countdown of the brainiest nations on Earth. Ready to feel slightly inadequate about your own educational achievements? Let's dive in. Coming in at number 10, we have Finland, the country that somehow turns darkness for half the year into educational brilliance. Finland is like that quiet, unassuming classmate who never seemed to study but aced every test. Their secret? They don't actually start formal schooling until age 7. That's right. While parents in other countries are forcing flashcards on their toddlers, Finnish kids are just playing. The audacity, with a literacy rate of over 99% and teachers who all must have master's degrees, no exceptions. Finland has created an education system that's basically the anti-stress approach to learning. Minimal standardized testing, maximum curiosity, and a focus on student well-being rather than cramming facts into young brains. They invest 5.7% of their GDP in education and maintain an education index of 0.93, which are just fancy ways of saying they're really, really good at this whole learning thing. And just when you thought Finland couldn't get any cooler, they throw in Northern Lights as a study break. Who needs a school disco when you have nature's light show? But wait until you see who's next on our list. A country where bicycles outnumber people and everyone seems to speak at least 3 languages. Number 9 brings us to the Netherlands, where education is as accessible as their famous canals. The Dutch aren't just masters of fighting water and growing tulips, they're educational powerhouses too. With 55.6% of adults holding tertiary education and a literacy rate of 99%, they're clearly doing something right. Maybe it's all that bike riding to school gets the oxygen flowing to the brain, you know? Education here is compulsory until 18, and there's a strong focus on personalized learning. Dutch students are encouraged to be independent thinkers from day one, probably because when your country is below sea level, creative problem solving isn't just for homework, it's for survival. What's really impressive is how internationally oriented their universities are. Many programs are taught entirely in English, which explains why you'll find students from literally everywhere wandering around Amsterdam and Utrecht. Their education index of 0.91 puts them among the global elite. But before you pack your bags for windmill country, you might want to see which Baltic nation has quietly climbed the ranks to surprise everyone at number 8. Plot twist! Lithuania comes in at number 8, proving that you don't need to be a massive country to have massive brains. With a population smaller than New York City, Lithuania is punching way above its weight in the education department. A staggering 57.4% of Lithuanians have tertiary education. That's almost 6 out of 10 people walking around with university degrees. Their literacy rate, an eye-popping 99.8%. Apparently, the remaining 0.2% were too busy reading to participate in the survey. Lithuania doesn't mess around when it comes to learning. They start vocational training early and are big believers in lifelong education. Their focus on intellectual growth and innovation has given them an education index of 0.90, which is like getting an A- on the global report card. For travelers, Lithuania offers medieval cities, rich history, and a dynamic cultural scene, all at prices that won't make your student loan debt cry. Vilnius is basically a living classroom with affordable beer. What's not to love? But number 7 on our list takes us to a land of royal history where some universities have been around since before Columbus got lost at sea. Lucky number 7 is the United Kingdom, home to universities so old that their buildings have probably forgotten more knowledge than most of us will ever learn. The UK education system is globally respected, with places like Oxford and Cambridge consistently ranking among the world's best universities. With a tertiary education attainment rate of 49.4%, the Brits clearly haven't let their obsession with tea and queuing interfere with hitting the books. Their education index stands at an impressive 0.93, and they attract over 500,000 international students annually. That's 500,000 people willing to brave British food for a quality education. Now, that's commitment. The UK's diverse, decentralized system somehow manages to foster both academic rigor and creativity, plus studying in historic campuses where luminaries like Isaac Newton and Oscar Wilde once roamed is pretty much the academic equivalent of a celebrity selfie. But just across the Irish Sea, number 6 is giving the UK a run for its money with even higher education rates. At number 6, Ireland proves that a country famous for pubs can also be serious about higher education. The Emerald Isle boasts a tertiary education attainment rate of 62.8%. That's nearly 2/3 of adults with university-level education. With an education index of 0.91, Ireland has transformed itself from a largely agricultural economy to a knowledge-based powerhouse in just a few generations. Irish universities are consistently ranked among the world's best, with diverse course offerings and strong academic standards. The government provides robust support and scholarships, understanding that an educated population is worth investing in. Take notes, everyone else. For students, Ireland offers lively campus life, historic universities, and a welcoming culture in cities like Dublin and Galway. Plus, you're never more than a stone's throw from a good storytelling session, but our number 5 spot takes us to one of Europe's smallest countries with some of its biggest educational achievements. Halfway through our countdown at number 5 is Luxembourg, tiny in size but massive in brain power. This pocket-sized country might be smaller than Rhode Island, but it punches above its weight with a post-secondary education rate of 63.2%. That's almost 2/3 of the population walking around with advanced degrees. Their education index sits at an impressive 0.92, putting them among the global elite. Luxembourg's education system is as multilingual as its society, with students learning in French, German, and Luxembourgish. It's basically language immersion with a side of world-class education. The country invests heavily in learning, understanding that when your nation is smaller than many cities, human capital is your greatest resource. Students enjoy a high quality of life, a cosmopolitan atmosphere, and easy access to major European cities. It's like studying in a country-sized university campus with really good chocolate. But as we crack into our top 4, we head east to a nation where science and mathematics have long been cultural priorities. Number 4 brings us to Russia, where education has been serious business for centuries. With 56.7% of adults holding tertiary education degrees and an education index of 0.89, Russia's commitment to learning is as vast as its territory. The country has a long tradition of excellence in STEM fields. Before it was even called STEM, their network of universities and research institutes would make any education minister jealous. The Russian approach to education emphasizes academic rigor and technical expertise. While students in some countries are debating whether math is necessary, Russian students are solving equations that look like someone fell asleep on the keyboard. For those brave enough to study there, Russia offers historic universities, rich cultural heritage, and the chance to explore the world's largest country. Just pack a warm coat and be prepared for education that doesn't believe in participation trophies. But our number 3 spot belongs to a tech-savvy nation where education and innovation go hand in hand. Bronze medal position goes to Japan, where educational achievement is considered a national sport. With a tertiary education attainment rate of 52.7% and consistently high PISA scores, 529 compared to the OECD average of 488. Japan has created a culture where academic excellence isn't just encouraged, it's expected. Their education system is as efficient and high-performing as their bullet trains. Japan's world-class universities and research centers keep pushing boundaries, especially in technology and sciences. Their approach might be rigorous, some might say intense, but the results speak for themselves. Japanese students consistently outperform their global peers in mathematics and science. For travelers, Japan offers a fascinating blend of cutting-edge technology and rich traditions. Cities like Tokyo and Kyoto are basically open-air classrooms where ancient wisdom meets futuristic innovation. Just don't ask about their exam season. The stress levels have their own zip code. But even Japan's impressive stats can't match our silver medalist, a country that transformed itself through education in just one generation. Our runner-up is South Korea, the country that went from post-war poverty to educational superpower faster than you can say study hard. With 50.7% of adults holding tertiary degrees, a literacy rate over 97%, and an education index of 0.89, South Korea has engineered one of the most remarkable educational transformations in history. Their focus on technology and digital learning has created classrooms that look like they're from the future, because in many ways, they are. The Korean approach to education is competitive, very competitive. Students often attend regular school followed by private academies until late in the evening. It's intense, but it's produced a tech-savvy society that leads in innovation and digital adoption. For those interested in experiencing this educational powerhouse firsthand, South Korea offers dynamic cities, vibrant K-culture, and some of Asia's most prestigious universities. Just don't expect much sleep during finals week. But even South Korea's impressive achievements can't dethrone our number one, a country where education seems to be in the national DNA. And the gold medal for global education goes to Canada. Yes, the land of maple syrup and excessive politeness is also the world's most educated country. Canada boasts a jaw-dropping 60% tertiary education attainment rate, the highest in the world. Their education index of 0.92 and education spending of approximately 6% of GDP show a nation that puts its money where its mind is. With over 500,000 international students choosing Canadian institutions annually, it's clearly doing something right. What makes Canada's system special? It's high quality, accessible, and remarkably inclusive. Their universities are leading research in fields like artificial intelligence, medicine, and environmental sciences, all while maintaining a focus on affordability and accessibility that many other countries could learn from. For students and travelers alike, Canada offers multicultural cities, breathtaking landscapes, and a welcoming environment. It's like they've figured out that educated citizens and visitors are happier citizens and visitors. Which one surprised you the most? Was it Lithuania's unexpected appearance in the top 10? Or were you shocked that your own country didn't make the cut? Share your thoughts in the comments, hit that subscribe button, and tell us which educational systems you'd like to learn more about in future videos. In a world where you can be anything, be educated. It clearly works for these countries.